My name is Daniel Carter, and if you'd told me 5 years ago that my life would become so woven together with my mother-in-law's, I would have laughed and shaken my head. Back then, I thought I understood family, responsibility, and what it meant to care for the people you loved. But the truth is, I didn't know much at all, not until life changed everything. Her name was Linda Walker, and she was the kind of woman who filled a home long before she walked inside it. She spoke loudly, laughed loudly, loved loudly, the kind of person whose presence could make you forget your worries for a while. She was my wife's mother, but she treated me as if I'd been her son from the moment we met. She had this way of asking how you were doing and making it sound like she truly wanted the long version, not the short one. My wife, Emily, adored her mother. They talked every day, sometimes for hours. And when Emily and I moved 2 states away for work, it was Linda who cried the hardest. Still, she encouraged us to go chase the opportunities waiting for us. Life's too short to stay stuck, she always said. But sometimes life becomes too short for other reasons. 4 years into our marriage, tragedy hit like a soundless storm. Emily got sick, the kind of sick you don't see coming, the kind you can't prepare for, the kind that steals your breath more quickly than the wind on a cold January night. And then, one day, she was gone. There are some moments you can never forget, no matter how much time passes. The sterile white of the hospital room. The unexplained ringing in my ears. The way Linda's knees buckled beneath her when the doctor spoke. The way the world didn't stop even though it felt like it should have. Losing Emily was like losing the color in my world. Losing her mother was like watching a mountain crumble from the inside out. For the first month after the funeral, Linda called me every day. She didn't want anything, she just needed someone who understood. Someone who loved Emily like she did, someone who remembered the way she smiled, the way she hummed when she cooked, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was thinking. Someone who missed her so much, it felt like breathing hurt. But over time, the calls started to shift. She would talk about small things, the garden she hadn't tended, the bedroom she couldn't bring herself to sleep in, the silences that echoed louder than any sound. I don't like being alone, she confessed one night. Her voice shook, a soft tremble she tried to hide. This house is too quiet, Daniel. She wasn't the only one drowning in quiet. My own home felt like a museum, untouched, frozen, waiting for a life no longer living in it. I'd walk in after work and still expect Emily to be there on the couch, legs tucked under her, insisting we watch something she loved even though she'd fall asleep halfway through. I kept every light on, not because I needed them, but because the darkness made everything feel too real. So when Linda suggested, gently, timidly, that maybe I visit her for a while, I didn't think twice. I needed it as much as she did. Maybe more. The first night I drove to her house, I wasn't sure what to expect. But when she opened the door, I saw something familiar. Her smile was tired, but genuine. Her eyes were red, but warm. She hugged me so tightly I could feel her heartbeat, shaky and unsteady. "I'm glad you're here," she whispered. "I am too." That visit lasted a week. Then 2. Then a month. And before we knew it, it became a rhythm, a routine born from shared grief, shared memories, and shared loneliness. We cooked together, not because we were hungry, but because filling the house with noise and smells made it feel alive again. We talked about Emily often, but not the painful parts. We talked about the silly moments, the warm ones, the ones that made us both laugh until we cried. One night, after dinner, Linda asked if I could help rearrange the living room furniture. "I think it's time for a change," she said. "Something new. Something that feels like moving forward." So we pushed couches, lifted tables, and debated over where the lamp should go. It was the most alive I'd seen her in months. When we were done, we stood back and looked at the room. It felt different, brighter, lighter, like a small step toward healing. "I think Emily would like this," she said softly. I think she would too. Little by little, life began to return to the house. We planted roses in the backyard, pink ones, Emily's favorite. We fixed that squeaky cabinet she always complained about. We found old photo albums and laughed at hairstyles that should never have existed. But the biggest change wasn't in the house. It was in us. I began to realize something quiet, something slow, something gentle. Grief had broken us, yes. But it had also tied us together. Not as replacements. Not as substitutes. As two people who loved someone so deeply that losing her forced us to learn how to stand again, even if we had to lean on each other to do it. We didn't become each other's whole world. That wasn't the point. But we became each other's support, a reminder that life didn't have to end where pain began. One morning, I found Linda sitting on the porch with 2 cups of coffee, waiting for me. "I slept through the night," she said with a surprised smile. "First time in a long time." "That's good," I said as I sat beside her. "Really good." She nodded. "It is. And Daniel, I think I'm starting to feel like myself again." I nodded too, because I knew exactly what she meant. I had felt it too, a slow return of color to a world that once seemed permanently gray. The healing wasn't perfect, and it wasn't fast. But it was real. It was honest. It was earned. Some people think grief is a wall you can break through if you push hard enough. But it's not. It's a landscape, vast, uneven, unpredictable. You don't overcome it. You walk through it. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you don't have to walk alone. Linda didn't like being alone. Neither did I. So we didn't have to be. Life didn't give us a new beginning. It gave us a second chance to keep going, to rebuild, to rediscover light in places we never expected. And together, quietly, slowly, gently, we did.